Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ruminate This with Agrarian Solutions. Join us as we explore ruminant nutrition and the impact of mycotoxins. Here, we challenge your curiosity and explore new industry insights and research to optimize your herd's health and performance. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Ruminate This with Agrarian Solutions. I'm your host, Scott Zehr, and today I'm going to be joined by our international account manager, Mr. Cody Cline. And I'm going to be talking some international stuff here with Cody today. Cody, you have a really unique position, I think, within the company of serving our international markets. I think maybe sometimes domestically, when people think of Agrarian or they think of DTX, we're a US-based company and maybe we don't realize what our global reach is. And I'm still coming to terms with considering Canada an international market, but that's my own problems. So, Cody, I'm hoping to maybe dive into some conversations with you as far as like, what is our global footprint? What kind of species are we feeding globally? And yeah, just if you want to kick us off with a little bit about yourself and then dive into some of those questions.
Definitely, yeah. So thank you for having me on the podcast. It's fun to be here and be talking to our audience. But yeah, I'm the international account manager for Agrarian Solutions. I've been with the company about a year and a half, going to be 2 years this next spring. But in terms of international, I am kind of the the point person for all of our international clients to put in their orders, to process their orders, do all the customs paperwork, but also to drum up new business, traveling to different conferences to meet with different international clients. Pretty much I'm the one-stop shop for all of our international distributors and our international business. So I love it because every day is different. I'm doing a different aspect of the role, whether it's marketing, operations, sales, strategy, all sorts of stuff every day. And that's exciting. I like having a job that changes. But we are doing business all around the world, which a lot of people in the US don't they don't realize, which is cool. We currently do business in Egypt, the UAE, Thailand, Taiwan, Mexico, and Canada. And it's a pretty important part of our business as Agrarian. And it was actually some of our first business Agrarian ever had back in the 90s. So that was cool to see how our international history has actually helped Agrarian take off from the start. But overall, internationally can be a surprise to a lot of people in the US. We don't really sell too much of our product in the dairy or beef industry. Most of our product
Okay.
goes into poultry and swine. So that's an interesting kind of difference between the US, where we are primarily in the dairy and beef markets and not really in the poultry or swine, but it's cool
Yeah.
to have that difference and see our product working in these different species just as well, if not maybe even better than in dairy and beef. So yeah,
So let's jump into the poultry side of things. I'm assuming that's the Middle East.
so for poultry, we do business in the UAE and Egypt primarily, a little bit of it in Thailand. But yeah, in Egypt and the UAE, it's poultry and dairy. We probably do about 80% poultry, 20% dairy there.
Why are they using DTX in the poultry? I mean, what are they seeing as a benefit? So on.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of some of the same effects that you see within the dairy market in the US of these chickens are healthier, have better weight gain, lower mortality, and just overall are better producing animals for these layers or broilers. And so it's really paying off in profits for those companies that are using it. And just there's mycotoxins all around the world. So
Yeah.
it's not just a US problem. So
Right. Right.
they're using it within the poultry industry there and seeing a lot of success. So Egypt is actually our longest standing distributor, which we've been doing business with them since the mid 90s. So they've been using our product for decades with poultry, and that's been really cool to see.
I know we talk domestically a lot. We've got a distributor here in the US that's been with us since the mid 90s, but I actually think the Egypt relationship predates that. by a year or two, maybe. I'd have to check with the agrarian historian to
True.
confirm. But so, and then what about our Asian markets? Is that predominantly swine?
Yes. So mainly swine and then secondary poultry. And they're actually starting to use our products. The dairy industry is growing in Southeast Asia. So with that, our products are getting used more in that or being tested in that regard over there. So slow going dairy, but it's all about the swine industry over there.
Yeah. 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 That makes sense. So, Cody, you talk about the swine business we have in Asia, in the Asian markets. There's some pretty interesting swine data that's also come out of our relationships over there. Can you touch on some of that? And I do have one of the published articles here that we can kind of talk about, but I'll just have you give an overview, if you would, of what some of that data has looked like out of the swine.
Yeah, so it dates back to 2019, but we actually had some of the research published this year in 2024. But we've partnered with a university in Thailand that's actually done a lot of work with our product and seen a lot of success with swine populations. The interesting thing about these studies is there's not really any mycotoxins. So they're using DTX with swine and seeing a lot of amazing results. So they're seeing improved colostrum with the lactating sows. They're seeing improved nutrient digestion. They're seeing better milk quality, better milk yield, better weight gain in the weanling pigs, all sorts of just and lower mortality and all the things that are important to a swine producer. It seems like it's benefiting them. And even if there isn't a mycotoxin load, it's still benefiting the sows and the swine. So that's really cool to see. And it's cool to have our research published. It's in the Animal Journal and was just published a few months ago. So
Yep.
we're picking up traction with our swine research, which is really awesome.
Well, and I think something that's interesting, we spend a lot of time on this platform, but just in general, like if I'm out on the road working with nutritionists or dairy farms, Cody, so what binder are you selling? And folks, I'm going to reiterate, we're not a binder. We're a probiotic. We've internally theorized for a few years that we're probably doing more than just mitigating mycotoxins because at the end of the day, we are a beneficial bacteria. It's a probiotic. It's gut health. And I think one of the most astounding things to come out of the research that you just mentioned was the improved intestinal health. These piglets that were fed DTX they looked at it at increments of 2 weeks and 4 weeks. The villi height in the DTX group was way higher. I mean, healthier intestinal villi, lower crypt death. And I think about stuff like the marketing efforts in the human world to get people to take probiotics for gut health.
Yep.
Well, here you go. This is Chad Christensen that is the West Region Business Development Manager here in the US. He's told me since day one when I came on board, he said, I really feel like this is a 2-for-1 kind of product. And,
I agree.
so we're mitigating mycotoxins, but yet in the absence of mycotoxins, which Dr. Roth and I just had a discussion not too long ago about, is the 2024 mycotoxin report that came out in October and basically shows where mycotoxins are in the US and where we're not seeing many. And so I think it's kind of neat to maybe challenge the status quo a little bit of there's benefits outside of reducing the impact of mycotoxins to the DTX strain. So, and they're seeing that, as you just pointed out, in the swine side. Very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I think that has some implications for the dairy market in the US. I mean, it's not the same species, but we're talking about gut health. And so we don't have the research currently, but what it's doing that within the rumen, it's doing something other than just mycotoxin mitigation. So it's really, really cool stuff.
Well, we call this Ruminate This for a reason. Part of it is that obviously it's a play on words, but also, Cody, it doesn't really matter if you're a monogastric or a ruminant. Once you get to the start of the intestines, we're all the same. It's a large intestine and it's a small intestine. So, we're all the same there. So I think there's probably something to that. So Cody, talk to us about the Great White North. What does our footprint in Canada look like? I assume it's mostly dairy.
Yeah, we mostly sell in the dairy industry in the Great White North of Canada. We have two different ways that we distribute our product up there. We have Select Sires Canada that sells our product as DTX, and then we have Grand Valley Fortifiers that sells our product as Assure. So yeah, with Grand Valley using our product with swine and potentially poultry, and I mean they're still mainly in the dairy industry, but their reach is all across Canada. So the primary focus right now, I mean, they're located in Ontario, but they have sales distribution networks all throughout Canada, Alberta, British Columbia. Now I'm testing my geography, but the whole span of Canada. So it's cool to see how our market's growing up there, and mycotoxins exist everywhere. Gut health is important everywhere, and they're seeing success with our product there in Canada as well.
Well, there you go. And I'll give a shout out to my Alberta friends that I see download our podcast. There you go. Cody just helped us out there too. Cody, so what is it that excites you moving forward about the international business and where things are headed there?
Yeah, at Agrarian Solutions, I feel like we are in our growth phase right now. And a part of that is international. There's a lot of untapped markets all around the world. We're primarily focused in the US, but the sky's the limit internationally. I've been going to World Dairy Expo, IPPE, World Pork Expo, and meeting with a lot of international distributors that are seeing our product again, like it's not a binder, having to make that distinction. And there's just not a product like it anywhere else in the world. So we're making big swings internationally and making a name for ourselves. And it's really cool and exciting to just have such a unique product, not only for US markets, but for the entire world. No one has a product like ours. So internationally, once it takes off, it's going to be a game changer. And I mean, we have the research and everything to support it. So that's kind of the main difference. Well, not the main difference, but that's a really important thing internationally is having the data. We have that dairy research that we just came out with last year, and then the swine data, and we're going to have poultry data hopefully in the near future. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but we're continuing to focus on data to support what our products do. And that's super important internationally with nutritionists that are overseeing these different countries' operations. So I'm excited for that. It's fun to travel around and meet with different cultures and just see how our product can make a difference in no matter what country you're in.
Well, I'll leave you with this, Cody. I think you're giving a lot of credit to the product, the program. I think that's fair. I think we have a pretty great guy in Cody that's leading up the charge on this stuff now. And I promise you, Cody, at the end of the day, you'll be the one making a bigger difference than just the product. So keep that in mind as you continue to work in these international markets. Cody, I thank you for taking time out of your day today. And I look forward to having you on again as we maybe get some more research to talk about. So, Cody, before we take off, if there's somebody listening internationally, they're interested in anything we talked about today, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, we'd be more than willing to set up a call to meet and discuss our products, discuss our research, and dream of potential opportunities. But if you want to reach out, you can reach me on LinkedIn or my email. It's ccline@agrisol.com. You can find it on our website at agrariansolutions.com. But yeah, don't hesitate to reach out. We love building new relationships and just seeing how our products can complement your programs. So it's cool to see how our products can be used internationally. We're also not scared of the registration process. We've done that in multiple different countries. So if that's a hurdle, we're willing to jump those hurdles with you. So don't be afraid to reach out.
And I'm going to come right back to RISE, relational integrity, strategic, and excellence. And we really do view that as a partnership. So Cody will help make all of that stuff happen, from registration and dealing with that kind of stuff. And again, that's C Cline, C-L-I-N-E, C Cline at agrsol.com. Yeah, with that, Cody, I really appreciate you taking the time today, and we'll be talking again soon.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Cody. If you found value in today's podcast, please hit subscribe and share. And we look forward to talking to you again next week.